First of all, something's up with the lighting. Because camera quality is bad. But I wanna lie on the ground and talk about this. That's what we're gonna do. Um, Today has been an exceptionally spectacular day. I think that's what I can call it. I started off, I think it's because I took B12 this morning and I took my whole butane that I keep on, I've said it, like, it's the one medicine that I'm so inconsistent with, but, we're getting there. I'm getting a really pretty, pill box soon, which, I think I have so much to say, but, I was listening to Corinne Lopafido. She's like huge in the zero waste movement, and I like her approach to it because it's like you can only do so much, and then she has this like really practical tips that are amazing. And she mentioned Austin Creative Reuse Center in one of her like podcast interviews, and I was like, what? It's here? I'm gonna go check it out. So then when my friends were in town, we went and checked that together, and it was such a great place. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because one of the things that she said is not buying anything unless it's an 100% yes. Like 10 over 10, I want this, I think about this, I can't wait to have this in my hands. And I've been trying really hard to do that. I'm moving to my first apartment soon. And of course that means I have to get a lot of things, And I've been spending like quite a lot of time on research. Spent so much time researching the perfect spoons and bowls and stuff, but like I'm not complaining. I'm really happy with the choices I made because now like most of the things I'm gonna get are 100% 10 over 10. Yes, I want this, I love this, I can see myself using this every day. Why did I bring that up? Because of the pill box. But I think there's something else I was gonna talk about. Oh, today being an exceptionally, like, what word did I use? Spectacular day. So I've been having this conflict with one of my really close friends, I guess, over veganism, and like it's a really huge part of who I am, and this friend was not very supportive of that. Like I went and visited them like a couple weeks ago, and like finding a restaurant to eat at was like a lot for him. Like I didn't mind, like I do it on a daily basis, looking up the menus ahead of time and like knowing where I'm gonna go and where I'm gonna get like something to eat. But he didn't want to do that. He found that frustrating, and it was like too much, and this has been on the top of my mind. Like we've talked about it, and I guess we apologized, but it's still really difficult to get over. And the thing is, we've been really good friends since 2017, like really, really close. Like if you think about me, you think about him, like in our circles, like it's always been us as friends. And like I have so many memories on my phone and like videos of us having a good time together, and like I really enjoyed our friendship. And I think one thing is sometimes things are meant to end as much as I don't want it to end. Like I've seen this coming for a really long time because this happened 4 weeks ago, and it's just like despite all the memories and the good stuff, it's just one thing that I can't get over. Like veganism is at least 25%, if not more, of who I am, and if this huge part of who I am frustrates you, then like doesn't all of me frustrate you? I'm not feeling exactly like loved and cared for in this friendship. And this is after a couple days ago I was like really, really vulnerable on my Insta stories about how, because of all the baggage I come with, as I refer to it as like a heavy bookcase, makes me feel broken and like hard to love. Like it's a lot to ask someone to love me with, like, you know, my mental health disorders and like needing to know my coping skills and all of those things, which honestly it is not a lot. I received such amazing responses from that. First of all, I was super anxious, and yeah, I had diarrhea because of that. My septum is crooked most of the time. I'm gonna change it to another one. I'm like tired of this celery. I promise I was saying something. Oh yeah, I got really anxious and like my gut was like, oh, you know. For the past, like, since I shared, you know, I've had a lot of, like, my stomach's been running, and like I even vomited randomly one time when I was like shopping. Window shopping, I should say. Again, doing a lot of research for my apartment. I mean, I guess technically it's a house. It's gonna be a house, and I'm gonna live with 2 roommates, but it's a huge house with a huge backyard, and like the landlord's COVID project, which was building this little patio outside. I am so excited. I cannot wait. And like we vibed so well with each other. It's like, it feels divinely ordained to move into this place. So yeah, my gut, like vomiting randomly, it just happened that one time. My stomach was feeling kind of weird, and then like I was like, oh my god, I need to vomit right now. And I went outside. He had trash cans. I'm so lucky they were like complete open ones. You know, like some trash cans have this little lid, and then you have to throw it from the side, throw stuff through the side. I think it's an aesthetics reason, but imagine like vomiting in that. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's possible. So yeah, that's something that I am grateful for. I really love how bouncy this hair is. One of my favorite hairs. Speaking of hair, I'm like really considering getting dreadlocks. Like from my research, it helps people feel like very spiritually aligned with like their higher self and feel grounded and feel connected to, like, you know, your ancestors. Because like, did I say dreadlocks? I'm trying not to do that. Locks. Because, you know, there's like centuries and centuries of history upon that, and it just seems like the next step in the evolution of me becoming who I'm supposed to be. But yes, I shared this. I was nervous. My gut. I think today has been great. So it's been like, today I think is the 4th day, and finally it's gone. And I've been using cannabis products to help with my anxiety, because your girl ran out of Lexapro and she hasn't gone to pick up the next refill. I have one more refill from like my psychiatrist from college, but I need to pick up from CVS. But the thing is, like, okay, 1 more month supply, and then what? Or maybe that might give me a buffer until I get another psychiatrist, because like this past 4 days have shown me I am not yet ready to get off medications. As much as I wish that I was, I'm not ready yet. But like cannabis products have been working, and I think that's you know, they need to explore that and like decriminalize it and stop being so afraid of something that like literally grows from the ground. Because I would much rather have cannabis products over cannabis. I'm saying it weird. Cannabis products instead of instead of like pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceutical companies are the epitome of capitalism, and I really don't want to support that at all. So after being vulnerable, I received such an outpouring of love, like at least 30 DMs from different people telling me how, like, you know, I already know that my thoughts are not true, but they provided me with so many amazing counter narratives that it's like, wow, all of this is in my head, and it's because of also like the people I've surrounded myself with. They've confirmed all these things that I've had in my head, like, you know, loving me fully is a lot to ask someone, but like all these counter narratives are like, no, it's not, and like this, you know, keep holding on, you'll find your people, and all these people offer themselves up, and they're like, we're here for you if you ever need to talk. Like, vulnerability is amazing. not only has it made me so much more brave, my Instagram account is now on public, and I honestly don't think too much before I post something on there, but it's mostly been like reels and like little videos like that, because it's my social media. I get to do with it whatever I want, right? But also from this, this guy that I went to college with. I went to college in Kenya for like 1 semester, like 3 months. And I met him then. He was my classmate. And this is like in 2017. I'm not even sure I remember what he looks like. His Instagram doesn't have his pictures. But he's also really been into like, energy work and spirituality and like, all these things that people call woo-woo. I would definitely say that he's more ahead of it than I am. Like, he told me, like, I guess he's further along in the path, is what I should say. He told me that the reason why my gut was, like, acting up is because there's energy shifts happening in the world or something like that. And, like, it's an alternative explanation. I'm not gonna kick it. But yeah, it's been really great. Like today, he asked me what I thought, and then like I opened up, and then it's like, it's been really nice to connect with someone who, I think this is the first close friend I have. I mean, wow, you're weird calling him a close friend. Let me say, someone I talk to on a daily basis that is also into spirituality, like not just people sharing and like these public figures, but like an actual real person. So we'll see how this goes. What if I was supposed to be vulnerable like that? So that he would reach out to me and then this, connection could be made. I still, you know what? I don't know how it's gonna make sense, but one thing I know for sure is like the universe has so many surprises. Always so many surprises. Like I really cannot anticipate or expect anything. So yeah, that's one thing. But first thing, so my friend who made me feel like a lot because of, I had just looked up and I have a framed picture up there of someone who's loved me fully and completely and in ways I've never been loved before for the past 6 years of just like true complete love. I mean, not like continuously, of course there's been ups and downs. First thing is like we live across the globe from each other, and he's very terrible at communicating over the internet, and it gets on my nerves so much because he's so special. He makes me feel so good. That's the thing, like I have people in my life now that make me feel so good, make me feel great, and I think this is what relationships are supposed to be, I guess I've just been used to relationships where someone says they love me, but then they also do all these things that if a stranger was to do them, or like say the things that they're saying, like, no, that's not acceptable at all. I wouldn't even give them the time of day. Like, peace out, bro. I don't deal with that. Because these people, I have history with these people, or I'm connected biologically to these people. I keep making excuses for them with things that I literally know are not okay. And this is not just about this one friend, it's about like another friend also, and like my complicated relationship with my parents. But that's looking up. Not ready to talk about that yet, but we will soon. So yeah, after realizing this, and another thing that stood out back to like this person saying that me being vegan is frustrating. Wow. I started telling you about when my friends came into town. Oh yeah, and we went to the Austin Creative Review Center. Yes. Got back my bearing. I promise I am not on anything at all, apart from Wellbutrin and B12. And a lot of water. This is how my brain works. But we went to this restaurant called Kirby Lane Cafe. I think there's like a couple around Austin. And the thing is, the night before we're actually gonna go and we're making these plans, I ordered in Uber Eats from this specific restaurant, and I really liked it. And then when when my friend suggested it, I was like, what? What a synchronicity! But while we were there, we were with my friend Corey and like 2 other people who I'm not extremely like close with. One of them I just met, the other one I went to college with, and they ordered queso with chips as an appetizer. And then I think I mentioned something about like I'm gonna order like the vegan queso to try it because it seems interesting. And then they were like, oh, you're vegan? Yeah, we could change it completely, like we can make it vegan. And then they tried to reach the server, and like this one girl that I went to college with literally got up and went to get the server. Like not get the server, like talk to them and like tell them like, yo, change our like order with just regular queso to vegan queso. And honestly, I think that made me cry. I'm not even gonna lie. Right now, it's making me tear up. But this is the things that people like. These are 2 people that I'm not even that connected with, and they treated me with so much love and tenderness. And I'm like, what? I think this is what this is what love is. And I'm not talking about it in like a romantic way, like a platonic way, like, just spreading love and light everywhere. And this is the thing is, this is exactly how I treat people. Like, I go over and above and beyond for the people I love, but it's always not been reciprocated. Like, a psychic once told me that all my relationships are unbalanced because I give more than I receive. And honestly, it's true in most of my relationships, at least the regular ones, which I am like filtering through now, and letting go of. So in conclusion, I told this friend why our relationship couldn't go on anymore because of like all the reasons. And the thing is, he told me that he doesn't have a problem with me being vegan, but like that is the issue, that is the biggest conflict. Like, you just can't say that when you're acting completely different. And like, I felt really sad and it was heartbreaking because of all the memories. And I called my friend Corey and I was crying on the phone about it and like asking her like, was this valid? Did I make the right decision? Blah blah blah. And she was completely supportive. People are so supportive once you let them in. And this is before my friend got back to me once I told him why our relationship couldn't keep going. And then he told me that when he responded, I started second guessing myself. I was like, well, did I really do the right thing here? Like, should I have fought more? Because of the history that we have, like, should I have like put more effort? But like, I honestly did as much as I could. The only thing that I could have done is like show up in person and talk about it, because I tried bringing it up and he didn't want to talk about it over the phone. So when he said that, I started second guessing myself. And then I asked another one of my Insta besties, like, he asked me, like, I shared the analogy of like the case being heavy, and then he asked me to share one book with him. I mean, this was a lot, and it took me quite a while to figure out what he was saying, but yes. And then I was like, feel free to share things with me. And then I was like, can I run this by you real quick? And then I told him exactly what's been going on, like, for the most part. And his first response is, your friend is gaslighting you. And I was just like, what? I would have never ever come to that conclusion by myself. And the thing is, like, even with therapy, most of my sessions were realizing and acknowledging how harmful people's behaviors towards me have been in the past. Like, I find it, like, it takes me very, very long to notice when people I love are harming me. So then therapy really helped with that. Dr. Scott was really good about, being like, wait a second, that's not okay. And these are the reasons why it's not okay. So then this Insta bestie did the thing that Dr. Scott did, and was like, yeah, he's gaslighting you, stop making excuses for it. And the thing is, this is gonna sound like I'm making an excuse for him, but I don't think he meant to gaslight me. Like, maybe we gaslight people unintentionally. Is that a thing? I don't know. But then that made me feel so much better about my decision, and then I'm not second doubting it, and like I feel like I saw this coming from a distance, and I was not ready to process it yet. But now that I have, I feel like a huge load has been lifted off my shoulders. Like, it's gonna be really sad. Like, it is already really sad. Friendship breakups are really, really difficult and sad, especially when, like, you never thought the friendship would ever break up. But yeah, some people are in your lives for a season. And if it wasn't this, like, if our friendship was just meant to end, if it wasn't this, it would have been something else that would have come up. And, like, to be completely honest, we have not been doing great. Like, ever since we graduated, our friendship had not been doing great, so it was coming. I'll miss him though. I really miss him. At least I have all the memories. Just because it ended like this doesn't mean acknowledging the bad doesn't mean I forget the good, and acknowledging the good doesn't mean I'm erasing the bad. I think the words can coexist together. Yeah, and like I've just been today listening to a bunch of podcasts and like have given me life, so I'm like feeling very, very full of life right now. And I think, what time is it? What? It's like 1:30 a.m. Here I am, like rambling and like going on forever. But yeah, that was my free flowing thoughts about what's been happening today. And it seems like a lot. It seems like it's been like 3 different days in one. But I appreciate it. And now just like special mentioning this really hope person who is in Australia right now, but despite the distance, like, makes me feel so good about myself, like so damn beautiful and amazing and worthy of love. It's just, what? This is so unfair! He makes me feel so loved and seen and heard and understood, like the whole shebang. And why does he have to be half the world away from me? Like, I definitely know that there's an epic relationship coming in my near future. But I think this is a thing of me again, falling for people who are unavailable because of my fear of commitment that I still don't know where it comes from. So yeah, I think, but it would be really great. It would be really great if we were like in the same physical location, at least in the same country or like hemisphere. Oh my god, Australia might as well be a different planet. But if you are seeing this, if you're watching this, the person I'm talking about, thank you. Really, thank you. You have no idea what you've done. So yeah, I guess I've just been learning what love, like receiving love, feels like. Like truly being on the other side of people being so giving and so willing to be there, to hear you out, to support you, to provide counter narratives to all these like shitty things that are going on in your head. And I'm just like, what? Have I not been living? And then this one thing that came to mind is, in my school we have this we have international students orientation leaders, and I think I did this fall of 2019, just right before COVID. And this one girl who's part of my like little group just messaged me today on Instagram, and she was like, hey, are you on campus? I was like, no, I graduated. And she was like, oh, I forgot, I just wanted to invite you to hang out. And I was like, what? How many years later? Like 2 years later, we haven't spoken since. It's good. Like, I matter, and I make an impact on people's lives. And that was just proof. I miss my scrapbook so damn much because it has so many counter narratives in there of like all these amazing words that people have written to me over the years. And the thing is, this one person that I desperately wanted to love me and to care about me, he knew how much, like, words of affirmation and like people just saying nice things towards me went to me because he watched me like make this scrapbook. And he still did none of that. Like, I still keep waiting for him to show he cares. And like, why? Why am I waiting for that? Why am I entertaining people in my life who make me second guess whether they give a shit about me or not? It's crazy. Like, if I was giving advice to a friend, I'd be like, girl, much better than that. So much more worth. But my thing is history. I'm so much history with him too. And like over the years and like really amazing memories that makes it difficult to let go. And I guess this is why people find it really difficult to leave abusive relationships, because like there's a lot of good. As much as it comes with bad, there's a lot of good that comes with it. And I'm not saying in any way that I've been physically abused by anyone. No, that one, that's where I draw the line. And I'm not even comparing the impact of it at all. But I mean, I would say that some of the things that I've experienced are like tethering on the, tiptoeing on the line of emotional abuse. So that's not what love is. I want to know what love is. Want you to show me. And it's crazy. Like, I don't know what love is, but then I also know what love is because I'm like really, it gives me so much joy to show people I love them. It's not just me telling you. Like, I will show you. You will have no doubt that I love you. But again, my relationships have been on and back. Yeah, we're working on that, okay? I was supposed to end this 10 minutes ago, and I still keep going. So I'm gonna stop now. Thanks for watching at this point. If anyone ever watches this, it's crazy. It's like this video is gonna exist on the internet for like the next thousands of years. Like, there will still be people on Earth in like 500 years, I bet. Like, most likely, right? And they'll be able to watch this. And I can't even fathom that idea. It's like reminding me of how like tiny, infinite our lives are. Like, why would we spend it not doing exactly what we want to do? Spend it around people who don't make us feel loved, who make us feel shitty about ourselves. Like, we're only here for such a short time. But also, what if reincarnation is true? And we'll still be the same people here 500 years later. But I don't think I'll remember that I'm the one who made this video. It'd be really cool if I did. I came back to Earth. But yeah, this video is gonna be on the internet for as long as the internet exists. That might be 1,000 years into the future. Wow, if you're listening to me 1,000 years into the future, hello. I'm very curious to see what your life looks like. Because, technology, the world changes so much within a span of 10 years. So I can't even imagine 1,000 years. Now we need to stop talking. Well, thank you for watching. Goodbye.